Hey, what's up everyone, this is Cray and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. So today I want to be talking about the tips and tricks as a beginner, what you should do and what you should try to avoid early game as well. Alright, so first things first, you have to take a look at the stamina exchange. Alright, so over here, this is where you want to be exhausting 960 crystals every day, at least for the early stages of the game, right? Because they're gonna be giving you a lot of crystals and stuff like that. Do not use crystals for your summons, alright? I made that mistake. But you are definitely gonna be getting like at least 400-ish free summons just by doing the hyperlink charter and also from all the achievements that you get, right? So make sure to always just use up your crystals for your energy, which is the stability over here. And in terms of the item that you gain over here, this one, the mental stabilizer, try to save this one on the left, alright? Because I believe there's gonna be double drops coming up real soon in the next few days. So make sure to keep this one so that you'll be able to farm your dungeons efficiently later on, alright? So once you do this, as an early game user, what you want to be focusing on at the start is to try to get it all the way to Fabian, alright, for your Grim Pursuit, because this is where you'll be able to farm your shells, which is the important one, the Twilight Knight and also Black Flag. So basically, Black Flag is for your support units and Twilight Knight for your DPS, okay? So once you are done with that, you want to head over to Threshold. You don't really need to farm that much for the early stages of game for this one, but you can try to at least get it to Nightmare 1 or 2 as an early game user so that you are able to benefit from the items that you gain over here, right? Extra stats and whatnot. And also in terms of your extra energy, make sure to farm your GP outpost, alright? Because this is where you are gonna be gaining your skill ups for your enemies, alright? For example, I'm just gonna head over to Messiah here. I have him on max level for the S3, which is skill 3 here, the AoE damage. And we do have the extra effect, the ignore defense up to 70%. This will be my second main damage dealer for Terramaton, alright? And then I'm gonna be focusing on Wilmoka as well because honestly, since I reached level 35, I am actually sleeping in Doki Doki Hell 1. I need to gain the mythic modules so that all my monsters will be able to be tankier, hit harder as well, things like that. And also, most importantly, you want to be farming your Swift Rush set, alright, for modules, because you are gonna be using it mainly for PvP, which I want to be focusing on as well, alright? So just gonna be continuing farming over here, leave it at the side. And after that, in terms of your investigation, do not really touch this one unless you want to try to level up some of your monsters if you're kind of hard stuck in some of the levels. But try to get your account to level 30 at least before you go into this one, alright? Because this is where you'll be able to unlock the last stage over here at level 30 of your main quest. Once you are done with your main quest over here to chapter 10, then you'll be able to unlock the investigation all the way to the end, okay? So try not to really farm this one unless you got no choice. All your extra stamina, I would suggest you to go into GP posts, farm your shells, and also try to upgrade your modules as well. Next up, I think this one, no-brainer. Like I said, you want to be focusing on your hyperlink charter. Don't be like me because I didn't build Leon up. So I'm kind of like stuck on this one. But you want to be focusing on your commissions, chronicle, the module, modification, arena, shell tuning, things like that. just follow the quest over here and try to clear everything every single time, right? You'll be able to gain a lot of resources for improving your account. Now we'll be talking about the summons as well. Honestly, for the guaranteed summon, I would like you guys to either take Real Mocha for your Doki Doki farming, where you'll be probably stuck over there for a very long time after your level 35, because that is where you'll be able to farm hell and above. And then in terms of maybe Aurora or Union Boss kind of thing, you want to be taking Rosa. I think Rosa is also a nice damage dealer over there. And all your other anima prototype, you want to be summoning it on the permanent summons, alright? Do not really go for banners unless you want Freya, because Freya is probably the second best support unit in the game, because Lily is number 1. And obviously Lily is not easy to get, because as you can see here in terms of the permanent summons, Lily is under the Apex Animus, which is like the dark unit. So she's gonna be really great. Things like Messiah, Mio as well, and Henrik. Not really sure about Doki Doki and Shadow Sanya, but I'm pretty sure they are good in their own way as well. Alright? So that is where you'll be able to try to get your Apex Animuses if you're lucky like me. Because on my first day, I actually got Mio and Messiah. I'm really happy about that. And then my summons kind of dried out after that. I got like a lot of random things. But yeah, you want to be looking at Real Mocha, Freya, Rosa, things like that for your permanent summons. And you should be able to breeze through the dungeons in your late game phase, alright? And then you want to be taking a look at the Union as well. This is where you join a guild, and there's so many rewards for you to gain just by participating in the Anchor Recon over here. As long as you do some damage, and then if your guild is active as well, you are able to finish up the primary reward. You'll be able to gain crystals, all these kind of resources for free. And in terms of the Union shop, you want to be probably buying things like your Anima prototype for more summons, Red Shadow print to 6-star your units easier as well. And the most important one actually is the Perfect Lattice Fragment, because this is like time gated, where maybe every week you get a couple or so things like that to actually scale up your SSR units. So that is gonna be really rare. You want to be buying the fragments every single time you have extra coins. Same goes for your summons. When you summon more, then you want to be buying this one. That's why I'm saving my my currency for this. And in terms of arena, you want to be heading over there. Even though you suck at arena, right? Personally, my Summit Arena, which is like the RTA, the real-time arena, I'm like plastic 1. Honestly, I suck at it so bad, but eventually you'll get some wins, and then you just want to finish up the quest rewards over here. And then you'll be able to use your currency to buy things like the Perfect Lattice Fragment once again, things like scrolls and whatnot, alright? Next up, we'll be talking about your animuses, alright? So we'll take a look at my Messiah, for example. We'll just head over to the modules over here. So on the left-hand corner, the mask, it's always gonna be flat attack for the base stat. In terms of the transistor, it's gonna be HP flat, and for the wrist wheel, it's defense flat, alright? So mainly, you're gonna be getting most of your stats on the right-hand corner, where you'll be able to get the percentage stats of it. So for example, Messiah is a DPS unit, a damage dealer. You want to be running it on some sort of crit damage, crit rate, and attack bonus. This one is pretty nice, the mythic one. And honestly, do not power up everything to level 15, because that's gonna be costing a lot of silver, the Etheria coin over here. Until you get like really good ones, things like outstanding and above, then maybe you can try to plus 12 to 15. Alright, things like your mythic here as well. These are gonna be the modules that you'll be using for quite some time, because they are pretty rare to get as well. You need to be farming hell, dungeon and above to gain all this. And in terms of early game progression, all your epic ones, even the the purple. You'll be selling them and upgrading them in the near future. So you just want to be plussing up to maybe max plus 12. And then try to continue farming your dungeons where you'll be able to gain things like... Oh, I actually got a mythic Swift Rush HP. Oh, this is nice. So that is definitely gonna be an upgrade for my support units. And we are just gonna be continuing farming over here. And that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope this guide helps you out in terms of your early / mid game progression. And in terms of your late game phase, once you reach level 35, make sure to farm Doki Doki for a very long time. Unless you don't really want to play PvP, then yeah, just do whatever you want after that, it's fine. So that's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.